Now you see me? Now you don't. Did you see me? Bro, let me go. I'm Chloe Kitts and this is my magic trick. Now you see me? Now you don't.
Every class you enter, they'll be there. Every school dance, they'll be there. Every time you go to the school bathroom, they'll be there. Who am I talking about? The different types of kids that every school had. And when I say every school, I mean every school. So let's go over them. First up, we got the teacher's pets. Teacher's pets were the kids who acted like the school building was their spawn point. These were the kids who walked into class 5 minutes before the bell rang like they would get 20 years in prison if they didn't. And that's not even an exaggeration, because I had one class with a kid that always got there before me. But I never knew just how much earlier he got there until one day I go to school 30 minutes early because I needed to take a test that I missed from being sick. And guess who the only person in the classroom is when I walk in? You guessed it. The teacher's pet. After this, I started to wonder if he ever left that place at all. I even looked at his legs to see if he had one of those ankle monitors cops make you wear when you're on house arrest. But instead of not being allowed to leave the house, he was forced to not leave the school. Teachers' pets were the kids who, even when no one else would raise their hand to answer a question, they still would. And it wasn't even because they were geniuses or anything. They were just trying to glaze the teacher. Like when I was in chemistry class, no one ever raised their hand because chemistry is basically as hard as rocket science. And I don't even know what rocket science is. I just always hear people say it's hard, so I did too. But anyways, there was one kid in that class that would always raise his hand. So the teacher would be forced to choose him, he'd answer the question, and half the time, it wouldn't even be right.
Okay guys, what is the chemical symbol for the element gold?
Oh, I know.
Yes, Andrew, again.
The answer is 4.
I hate this class.
The teacher even got so tired of him being the only person that ever raised their hand that she banned him from answering questions like halfway through the year. And I didn't dislike teachers' pets or anything. They're just trying to get a good grade in the class. I respect it. But the one thing they would do that I absolutely despised was when they would remind the teacher about assigning homework. The clock would be ticking, 30 seconds left of class, and the teacher hasn't brought up homework once. It's gonna happen. You're gonna get out of class without her remembering to give you any work. But then Andrew would just raise his hand and go,
Miss Nelson, you haven't given us the homework for today yet.
and the whole class would just turn and stare at him like he committed a felony. Because why would you remind the teacher about that? What do you gain? There's no prize for this. You don't get a medal. You just get 30 people staring at you, hoping that you step on a Lego. And substitute days turn teachers' pets into temporary principals. The substitute would walk in and be like, okay, class, so your teacher left me some instructions for today. And the teacher's pet is already standing up in the front of class like,
Hi, yes, I'll take it from here.
they'd be whispering all the secrets to the sub like,
You know, Mr. Michaels usually doesn't let us go on our phones like this.
and then the teacher's pet would turn around and hit the class with,
Guys, the teacher told us to be quiet.
like, who are you? You ain't the president. Sit down. But the most funny thing about teachers' pets is that, at least in my experience, the teacher didn't even like them. Like, they also found them annoying. Yeah, it was cool at first, but no one wants to be glazed that much. You just start to ignore it at a certain point. That's why, honestly, I usually just reply to my hate comments rather than the ones that are saying nice things to me. And trust me, there's a lot more negative comments than there are positive ones. Like a lot. Seriously. I mean, my parents ask me sometimes if I'm okay because they see me getting bullied in the comment section so often. So please, stop. Anyways, the next group of students we have are the dumb kids. And I don't even know if these kids were dumb because of low IQ levels or if they just really did not care about school. I think it was a mix of both. But one person I went to school with was definitely the first option. And I'm not being mean because this person was my friend and he's still my friend to this day, so I can roast him. We'll call him Patrick during this video because his actions remind me of something Patrick Star would do. But anyways, Patrick was somehow so lost during class that he would literally make the teacher rage quit. Like one time, we had a test that was timed. We only had 5 minutes to do it. And once the timer was up, you had to drop your pencils and turn in the test. So the teacher says to begin, and
I don't think you're gonna get it.
Apparently it's impossible to find all the cats.
everyone is sweating, trying to finish before running out of time. And right when that timer beeps, the teacher says to drop our pencils. But then Patrick raises his hand. So the teacher goes, "Yes, Patrick?" And he says,
When do we start the test?
he literally left the teacher speechless. Like, she did not know how to respond. And while having a class with Patrick was awesome because it was so funny to watch him interact in class, it was also terrifying because whenever we had group projects, he would always want to work with me. And if you've ever been in a group project with someone like Patrick, you know it's a nightmare. Doing group projects with someone like Patrick is like trying to play duos in Fortnite, except your teammate is using their feet to play instead of their hands. You know you're gonna have to carry them. When we had a group project together, I tried giving Patrick the easiest job possible. I literally just told him, "Patrick, find good pictures to put on all of our slides." That's it. And somehow I'd open the Google Slides later and our presentation about Abraham Lincoln would have this photo on the front page. One time, I asked Patrick if he could change the font on the whole project to Times New Roman, and he responded by asking me if that was a superhero. And then when we had to present this project, you know he didn't memorize any of his lines, so we're just standing up there in front of the whole class, and Patrick literally just turns directly toward the projector, away from everyone, to read what I put on the slides. The craziest thing about the Patricks in every school is they always finish tests first. Like always, which is terrifying, because when you're taking a test and you see someone finish before you even wrote your name down, you start sweating a little bit. I didn't even realize why all the dumb kids turned in their tests so early until Patrick told me. Because I said to him, hey Patrick, how do you always finish your tests so quickly? And he just goes,
oh, well, I just decide whether to pick A, B, C, or D based off which one I feel the most spiritually connected to.
whatever the heck that means. So they weren't turning in their tests quickly because it was easy. No, they just didn't care. But the most confusing part, they'd still somehow pass the class. Always. You'd see the grades they get on all the tests and think, no way they make it through this. But then somehow, on the last day, they're getting a 38% in the class rounded up to a C-. Like, what deal did you make with the teacher? Do you have secret proof they're cheating on their wife? Because that's the only plausible explanation. Patrick would also make my teacher laugh sometimes too, though. Like, we were talking about the mitochondria one time in class, and he went, is that a country? And the teacher tried to not smile, but she couldn't hold it in. No one could. It was too funny not to laugh because you could tell he was being serious. But one group of kids who the teachers loved was the popular kids. Popular kids were the royalty of school. They walked through the hallway like it was a red carpet, and the rest of us were just background NPCs. And they always walked in a group. It almost felt like the Zoolander movie every time they'd walk by. They'd show up to first period looking like they're heading to the Met Gala right after class. Hair done, outfit coordinated, shoes are all clean. Meanwhile, I'm wearing the hoodie I slept in and my hair looks like I just survived a tornado. This one is a weird subject to talk about for me because in school, I was always more of the quiet one. But in middle school,